I love when coaches, consultants, and professional service providers want to do big things in their business. They want to rise to the top and influence their market and the world around them. They want to have a greater impact and make a more lucrative income. Well, if this is you, welcome to Expert in You podcast, the show where I interview other experts and coaches, consultants, so that they can share their success strategies with you. We're going to talk about marketing and how to close more sales, how to get more premium clients, and how to really build your visibility in the market and scale your business like a boss. If this is you, welcome to the show. I want to ask you to subscribe and hit the notification bell right now so you don't miss one episode. Grab your coffee and buckle up because we are ready to give it all to you to help you become the expert and get paid as the expert that you are. Welcome back to another episode of Expert in You podcast. I'm your host, Carden, and wow, this is episode number 100. I can't even believe that we are on episode 100. It has been such a crazy ride getting to this point, and I just want to, number one, thank the people that have been on my show that have added the value to my show, the amazing guests and experts that I have interviewed that have brought great value and wisdom and knowledge and experience to you, the listeners. So I just want to give a big shout out to all of the people that have joined me on my show, have been part of this, and have made this experience so incredible. I also want to thank you, the listeners, the people that have subscribed to my show, have listened to my show, have shared my show. I can't thank you enough because what would be the point of doing this if no one listened, right? So thank you so much for being part of this in every way that you have contributed. And I'm so blessed. I'm so honored that you have chosen to listen to my show or be on my show. And I just thank you from the bottom of my heart. I can't believe episode 100. So I was trying to think today of what do I want to do to share the value with you for this episode, to record it with just myself and really bring you massive value. And I was trying to think of something around 100, right? To just sort of showcase the 100th episode. And I started thinking how to show you how to take your business from $100,000 to multiple 6 or 7 figures. And I thought this would be a great show because so often people are out there talking about how to get to your first $100,000 in your coaching or consulting business, but then they lack in the strategies and things like that to take you further. So I thought that this would make a great episode. So I hope you'll enjoy it as well. So the first thing I want to start with is when you are taking your business from $100,000 into much higher levels, you really have to have a different mindset. You have to have a mindset that's more like a CEO mindset. And you have to obviously have new strategies, and I'm going to talk about all of those things, but your mindset has to actually shift before your business will shift. Because when you're in your trying to get to your first $100,000, you are typically trying to get clients, you're trying to figure out what your business is going to be all about. You're just trying to kind of find your way, right? And you're just hoping that you'll make some money and you'll make some income, and you just are trying to get things rolling. But when you get to that first $100,000, often you might be stuck in fulfillment. You're out of time. Maybe it's not the money you thought it would be, which a lot of people think, $100,000 business, FYI, that's about a $40,000 income. And so if you want to make $100,000 income, you need to have a business that's closer to $200,000 or between that $150,000 and $200,000, because you're going to have things that come out of that money, right? You're going to have expenses and you're going to have taxes. And even if you run without a team, there are still going to be expenses that you have in your business. So $100,000 business is really not much of a business. You don't even really have the money to grow or to invest back into your business. And so the first thing you have to do is shift your mindset to bigger things. So that's the first thing I want to talk about. But I want to share the process that I take clients through when they are wanting to grow to those higher levels. And they want to do it also having an amazing life. They don't want to be stuck in their business. They don't want to be living their business. And so I'm going to share with you the process that I use and that I take my clients through to help them get bigger leaps in their business, but also to be able to scale. And I hope that when I share this process, it will really open up your mind. If you're in this place ready to grow, it will open up your mindset, and maybe you'll be able to identify some gaps that you might have in your business and why it maybe isn't going where you want it to go. If you are thinking about those higher levels, but it's maybe not happening. So going from $100,000 into multiple six figures or even seven figures, the first thing I look at is, how have you designed your business? So what is your business model? And so often there's opportunities here to get bigger and better clients. There's opportunity here to raise fees. There's opportunity here to add on new layers in your business. And I'm not talking about a lot of little bitty programs and things that you're out there trying to sell. I'm talking about real significant offers. So for example, when you're in your first $100,000 mode, you're probably working a lot with one-to-one clients. You're probably doing a lot of custom work, and you're really just leveraging your expertise, and you're making some income, right? But if you want to grow and scale, you're going to max out on time. So the two reasons businesses don't grow is a lack of money and a lack of time. And so if you are maxing out on time, now you've got to start looking at ways to optimize your business, to leverage your business, to leverage you, and to really think differently. So the first thing I do with my clients is I look at where's their opportunity and where are their gaps. So if they are only working with clients in a custom way, okay, how can we streamline the time that you're with clients? How can we minimize that so that you can get time and freedom back into your business? How can you make the highest fees that you can possibly make, that you have the value to make? And then what are the other layers or levels that we can add to your business that are a natural progression, or they're a natural fit to your business? So one of the mistakes I see people make is they have their core offer, but then they go off and they have all these other different things that they're offering, and there's no really it's not a natural fit to their business necessarily. And what happens is they end up being out there marketing a lot of different things. And so what I teach my clients to do is, once they have that custom offer and they know what they're selling there, can we get higher fees? First of all, can we leverage your time so that you're getting time back? But then the next thing we want to look at is, what else can we add to your business? So if someone is in a place, they still want your same services, but they don't, you don't have time to take on more custom clients. Now let's look at something high level that's a one-to-many approach. And this could be a lot of things. This could be a high level mastermind. Of course, I help people build high-end businesses. So I'm going to speak from that level and not talk about all of the group programs and the stuff that people are out there doing, because when you're working with high level people, they don't want group coaching, okay, or group consulting. So you're looking at things like cohorts, and you're looking at things like masterminds and roundtables, things that higher level people resonate with. They don't resonate with group coaching. And so this is one of the shifts that I often help my clients make. Even if they do have a group coaching program, we have to shift that language. We have to shift what that program offers so that they can really scale that with those higher end people. But then there are other things that you can also add. For example, high level retreats. I do luxury retreats in my business, and they're not inexpensive to come to. They can range anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000. And so that's something that I added into my business. Also, something you can add into your business are VIP days. I do a half a day. I do a full day with clients. You can do 30-day quick fix offers, those kinds of packages where maybe you're making $5 or $10 or even $25,000 for something where you're working with a client 30 days. So all of those things can be new layers to your business, but you're still out there only marketing yourself one way. So this is the first thing we look at is where's your opportunity? Do we need to restructure your business model and how you're selling things? I believe in a top-down approach, sell high first, and then everything else becomes a downsell. Or when you max out on time, now you can start selling the next thing. And so all of those things are things that we look at. So I call this redesigning your business. So it's the first step in really scaling. The second step is revamping your marketing. So the marketing that you were using to get to that first $100,000 is not probably going to take you into those higher levels. It might get you a little bit further with a lot more effort and a lot more work, right? But it's not going to take you into those really, really high levels. And so you have to revamp your marketing. Now, sometimes this means you have to change your target audience. Sometimes it means you have to level up the audience that you're working with. And the message has to change. The language has to change. And even your offers and how you position those offers has to change so that you're attracting those higher end clients. But then you also have to know, how can I ramp this up? How can I put this business on steroids without maxing out my time? And so you have to often add new strategies. If you are wanting to bring in more clients and get more traction in your business to really grow, you've got to have new ways to be able to do that. So one of the things that I teach my clients is how to fill events. I have a process how to make six figures on one event. That could be virtual or that could be live. And so we look at, okay, how can we fill these events? I give them the process, the strategies. All of those are pieces of what I can help them do when they're ready to scale. And so you need new strategies, and just doing everything organic and trying to do everything yourself is not going to really take your business to new levels. So a lot of times you have to add some team here. Maybe you have to add some VAs, or maybe you have to even invest in some advertising to ramp things up. So the strategies that you were using, the organic, go out and try to find one client at a time, and all of those strategies have to change, and you have to add in new strategies if you're going to go to higher levels. So there's a lot of ways to do this, and there's no one way. I really do customize this with my clients because they're all in different types of businesses. And so what works for one client will not necessarily work for another client. Also, JV partnerships. Those are other ways that you can ramp up your marketing. You can start developing partnerships with other people who can get you in front of their audience, and they do something that complements your business, that partner, but they don't do what you do. And so you can share audiences. So there's a lot of strategies that can get put in place when you're at a place where you're really ready to grow and scale. So you want to revamp your marketing. The third piece of scaling is you have to be more refined in your sales. When you're scaling up, your sales process is going to change. And once again, this might be different for everyone. You might decide that you want to get out of sales completely, and you might want to hire a small team to do your sales and hire enrollment specialists to do your sales. You might still love doing the sales piece. I still love the sales piece because I only work with so many clients. And so I want to know that there's someone I'm going to want to work with. I don't have a volume business. I do not want a volume business. And for that reason, I'm very high touch with my clients. And so I enjoy the sales piece of it. I want to be able to still have conversations with my clients. I want to feel that that's going to be a good connection and a good fit. And this is the way I choose to do my business. But there are lots of ways. There are lots of ways to scale. And everyone, again, aligns with different things. They have things that they like to do, things that they don't like to do. And so when I look at how to help people grow in their business, we look at all of those pieces. What's going to work for you? What are you going to love? What do you want to dump and get rid of and get help for that? A good example of this is I absolutely do not like administrative work. I do not like it at all. It bogs me down. I don't, it's not my expertise. And so I have an executive assistant that does that administrative stuff for me, managing my email and managing my calendar and doing those kinds of things because I just don't enjoy that. And so I know that about myself. And so one of the things that I do with my clients is I really define where are your strengths and where are the areas that you feel you're not so great at and you don't even want to be great at them. And then we really come up with a plan that is going to be a good fit for them because you want to love your business. Now, does this mean that you don't ever have to do anything you don't want to do or like to do? No. That is not realistic. And if anyone tells you that, they are not telling you the truth. The truth is there are going to be things in your business you don't really enjoy, but there are also things in your business that are necessary for you to do, especially in the growth phase. Now, when you're making millions of dollars and you want to step out of your business and you want to only be a CEO or whatever that is, that's a whole different phase, right? And you certainly can do that. And if you think about people like, Tony Robbins and Grant Cardone and some of these, big gurus, they have big teams, but they are still very involved in their business because they are the brand, right? And so all of these things have to be considered when you're thinking about your vision and you're thinking about where you want to go with your business and what you want that to look like. So we redesign your business model. We revamp your marketing so that you're attracting the best clients, you're getting the best. You've already developed some expertise getting to that first $100,000. So now it's time to really leverage that experience and that expertise that you have worked so hard for. And you need to start getting paid for that. And you need to start bringing in better clients. Why would you want to leave money on the table when you have opportunity to make more money per client? And so all of these are the marketing and the redesigning the business and even the sales process are all part of this. This is like the foundation of your business, but it has to actually go to the next level. So I talk about restructuring your sales process. When you get to a higher level, there are really three parts of the sales process. The first part is what happens before the sale. And then there is what happens during the sale. And then there is what happens after the sale. And again, you have to determine what is going to align with me, but you want to have a sales process that is easy. It has flow. You're getting more high qualified people coming to you to get on calls, or even if you have an enrollment specialist, you don't want to just burn up marketing money or burn up leads. And so all of these things need to be optimized in a very different way. And all of this is part of the growth stage. Then finally, when you get these things working and they're working like a well-oiled machine, this is the time to really decide, okay, do I want to just put this thing on steroids and run ads and put money into advertising? How big do I want to build my team? Where do I want to, what are the areas that I want to be involved in and what are the areas I do not want to be involved in. For example, this upcoming luxury retreat that I have coming up in October, my executive assistant has been handling all of the back end stuff for that. She's working with the caterers. She's found us the limo to take us back and forth to the events that we're doing. She's doing all of that back end kind of work. And that is because I don't want to be bogged down with that. I know what I want and I know what I want that event to be, but I don't want to be the person doing all of that stuff. And so she's taking all of that off of my plate. And so this is what I'm talking about as you're growing and as you're scaling. Where do you want to build a team around you? And what are the pieces that you want to still stay very engrossed in and engaged in? And then what are the pieces that you want to step away from? So all of this is part of scaling. But also this is where you really start leveraging your business. You start using more automation. Again, you might hire a marketing team to start doing your marketing for you. If you're doing other marketing strategies, you might have people doing those for you. You might have VAs doing those. So from if you think about the first 100,000, you've probably been doing some organic marketing, right? You're out there, you're messaging people. Maybe you're getting in Facebook groups, or you're out on LinkedIn, and you're the person that's building those relationships and doing all of that. Well, when you're scaling, you often turn that over to a VA, and then you still step in and you still stay involved where you need to be involved, but you let them do a lot of the fundamental work, a lot of the basic work. And that's one of the things sometimes that's really hard. It's hard to determine, is this the VA that's messaging me, or is this the actual person? Because a lot of people scale and use VAs. So there's lots of ways to do this. But these are really the 4 steps to scaling your business. Redesign your business model, get the most from each client, leverage your time with your clients, and then how can you get more clients and how can you work with more people? Then revamp your marketing so you're bringing in higher level people, you're bringing in the right people, and even revamp your marketing so that you can get more partnerships, more opportunities. I also like to call them next level marketing strategies. So this is where you really start stepping out and you start getting on stages. You start leveraging other people's audiences. Maybe you're running your own podcast. All of those are next level marketing strategies. You might be writing a book or writing articles. You're building up, your public relations. Lots of things that go on in that next phase in business. You have to start being out there more, and you have to start being a bigger brand. You have to really look at being a bigger brand. So it gets beyond just a Facebook group, right? And so you're doing much bigger things. So that's the revamp your marketing. And then the sales process, restructure that, because higher end clients are going to be very different to sell to. When you're trying to sell something for $50,000 or $100,000 or $200,000, they're going to be very different to sell to than someone where you're trying to sell something for $500,000. So the sales process has to be different. And when you really dial in and restructure that sales process so that you're only getting the right people coming to you, it's such a game changer. And this is why you don't always need an enrollment specialist or someone to do the sales piece, especially if you're not running a volume business and you're running a high-end business, high-touch business like I am and like I teach my clients to do. All right. And then finally, rev up your revenue. So the 4th step is, how can we rev up this revenue? What are the things we need to do in your business to put this thing on steroids and rev it up? So this can be new income streams, and all of these things, sometimes they're done simultaneously. So it looks like it's a 4-step thing, but sometimes we're doing the rev up revenue, maybe even in the first stage where we are redesigning your business model. So a lot of times it's not step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. You already have a business. It's about, okay, what do we need to do in your business to get you the fastest leap in your business financially with the least amount of time, and how can we really get you that traction? So it's going to be, again, different for everyone, and there might be a piece that we need in the redesign, and there might be a piece that we need in the revamp marketing, and a piece that we need in the restructuring your sales process, and a piece that we need in the rev up revenue. It may not be that you need everything. And so these things can work together. So I hope this has been helpful for you. You have to think differently. You can't get something new with old thinking. So think about that. And your mindset has to go to the next level before your business can. And anyone that has the desire can go well beyond $100,000 in their business, and they could scale their business to whatever levels they choose. They just need to be doing the right things. But the one thing that I really want you to take away from this is, what you have done to this point will not get you to the next level. And that will continue. It will continue to be that way. When I get to a certain level, I will once again reinvest in someone who is far, far ahead of me. And I've done that for over 30 plus years, building multiple businesses. And the reason I know that works is because they've already done it. I don't need to reinvent the wheel. So I know that what I know right now is not what I need to know to get to the next level. And the same is for you. So I hope you found this episode valuable. I would love to have you share it. Make sure you subscribe to this Expert in You podcast and hit the notification so you don't ever miss an episode. And I also want to invite you, if you are looking to take your business, your coaching consulting business to the next level, and you really want to get out of doing everything yourself, or you know that you're ready for that next phase in your business, you're ready to ramp things up, then I would love to have a conversation with you to see how it might be a fit for us to work together. And I have lots of ways that I work with my clients. I can work with them privately. I have a high-level mastermind. I have retreats that I offer, VIP days, all of those things that I mentioned. And so there's lots of ways that people can work with me. And I would love to help you get to your next level so you can impact the people that you are meant to serve and impact. And you can also make a lucrative income doing that. And it's life-changing. To me, we're in one of the best industries in the world. And so many people aren't taking advantage of what their opportunity really is. So thank you again for being here. I wish you an amazing week. You can find me on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on YouTube, and obviously on my podcast, or you can go to acarden.com and book a call if you are ready to speak with me about how we can work together to go to that next level in your business. I mean, 2023 is right around the corner. There's not a better time to get things in place to have your best year ever. So you have an amazing day. God bless you. Bye-bye. If you've enjoyed this episode, I want to invite you to go check out a free training that I have at expertinu.us. It is a training that I have on how you can get ultra premium dream clients, scale your business, get more freedom, and really simplify your business and multiply your money. So go check that out. And again, that is expertinu.us. I want to thank you for being here with me this week. I hope you found massive value. Please always leave a comment, feedback, or a question. We check them all. And I want you to go rock your business and make sure you join us again next week. God bless you. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.